All right, this camera is so weird to hold, but oh. All right, so we are back for another video working on the truck. This should be the last day, but guess what? Dude, shout out to Amazon Prime. I ordered this fuse block, the last thing that I needed for the wiring, yesterday at like 4 o'clock while I was making the video that you guys watched of when we got this camera and everything, and it came this morning at like 7 a.m. That is insane. So we're gonna be finishing up the truck, guys. We gotta get this thing done. I wanna drive it, I wanna rip it. I wanna see if it'll do a big ass burnout as well. So today is the day. Let's get this thing done. As you can see, I was working on all the wiring yesterday. Got this other fuse block, same thing. This is gonna be our constant power because some of the things on the ECU needs constant power. And then like if I ever wire in switches and all that, which I will be. Oh, they would have been right here, but I put them in the garage. Let's get this thing done. I throughout this morning, I've been going through and ripping out old wiring that just over the past 40 years, I want to say morons have been doing. But the way that some people do wiring is so sketchy. Like this guy put this bolt in here and just straight had this wire. Where is it? Now I can't even find it. Oh, here it is. Didn't even have like an eyelet or nothing, just wrapping around. You can tell it was getting all burnt up. It's just sketch. But we pulled that out of there. This wiring is pretty much done. The only thing I needed to go to the store and get is like some thick wire like this for the starter and the ground. So I'm gonna redo all that so it's not so ugly. And then we will not be needing the starter solenoid anymore, so we'll be getting rid of that. And we'll be sending our, here, I'll actually explain this real quick in case any of you guys are doing this on a Ford. So when your power, you have the power from the battery here, and then the power on the other side is positive straight to the starter. And then instead of the starter solenoid having a signal, it just gets power. So like this red right here would be hooked up to here. And when you turn your key, this sends power to this, and then the solenoid clicks just like your starter. So we'll get rid of the solenoid because the LS one has a solenoid. And then we'll send this wire to the solenoid and then a main power directly from the positive to the big terminal. Get it? Got it. All right, so you guys know I am trying to do the swap for as cheap as possible. So I'm gonna see if I can make this stock battery wire and alternator wire work in this truck. The battery's on the other side, I believe, so I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make it work, but I am gonna give it a shot because if I can make it work, it's gonna be free and I'm not gonna have to buy a bunch of thick wire, which will be like another $50 because we were trying to do this for as cheap as possible. Okay, so I ended up being able to use it. I just mounted it right here up against the wall. I'm gonna shorten this wire to go to the positive, and then we have the main wire running straight down to the alternator, and then I ran the signal wire through the loom down to the, and then popped it back out to the solenoid, and then I'm gonna hook that up to the Ford signal wire right here. And then our starting system will be done. Our wiring is done. I believe this is actually completely done because you guys saw me do the OBD2 yesterday, which if you didn't, go back and watch the Pinky 36 video, which was the previous video. I went ahead and wired our OBD2 up, the signal, you know, the serial output and all that. So that all works, so we can tune it and go through HB tuners through the ECU. But I think we're done. We just need the gaskets to come in for the intake today, and if Tyler comes over and brings his ECU, because VATS isn't deleted yet, and because Quan isn't here so we can't delete them, if we plug in Tyler's ECU, we should be able to start this thing right up, which is super exciting. I'm cool with starting it without coolant and stuff. I'll just start it with the oil that's in it, and then if everything's good, we'll go ahead and put the front end back together, get the radiator back together, get the heater core hooked up, and actually drive this thing. It's gonna be so awesome. Like this thing's got like double the torque that it had and like triple the horsepower, so it should be a lot faster. Alright dudes, so the only thing I can really do now to the truck before Tyler comes over is I think I'm going to go up to the store, get some Scotch-Brite so I can clean up the heads where the gaskets go so I can put the headers on, and after that, wait for the intake gaskets, get those in, and I want to say there's more, but I don't think there is, and then once Tyler gets here we should be able to start it. I could make the drive shaft, but I'm not really pressed on that. I want to take my time and get the headers on and everything. But if we have enough time before he gets here, I will be making the drive shaft. And that means if we get it running, we're gonna slap that thing in drive and we're gonna go. We gotta get like a bunch of fluids for it and stuff though, so we'll see if we actually drive it today. But we are gonna get this thing running. Damn it, I want it to run. And also for all the Ford people, the day that we got robbed, like I said, I think I showed you, but we ended up putting fuel cell in it up in there. And right here is our nice gas cap filler. Pretty cool, huh? That was awesome. That was Chris's idea. Get to take up the RV Zenki. Woo. Tight squeeze, tight squeeze, tight squeeze. Yes, you guys know, this is really how I have to drive it. Shit, wrong thing. This car makes me want to RB swap my fucking S15 so bad. Oh, it sounds so good. What I'm doing for this, right now I'm wiring up my alternator wire. So my alternator and my fuse block, my constant power fuse block is really close to each other. So I'm just gonna have the alternator off this and then the constant power fuse block back into 1T. I'm gonna solder these together and then heat shrink them, and then run it right to the battery. That's the way I'm doing that. And then my other fuse block is turned on by the ignition. So you get the gist. So let me go ahead and solder these together a little bit, kind of winded them through each other, and then we'll go ahead and heat shrink them. Okay, there we go. We got our alternator, and then we got our constant power, god damn it, fuse block, and then our split to 1, back to the battery power. All right, so Tyler came over. We are going to get the last couple things for the LS truck, and then we're gonna go back and start it up. He brought his ECU out of his 240. Vats is already deleted. Let's start it up. Dude, what are we eating? What are we eating?
I don't know. Big doubles. Do I have to press anything to autofocus or no?
No, it'll autofocus itself.
Right.
Just don't put your finger over the...
Wait, where is it?
It's right in the center, I think.
Is it those?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right.
All right, so we're slapping on the intake gaskets. I wasn't gonna get new ones, but I just figured why not.
This thing is almost like too light. You feel like you're gonna drop it.
Yeah.
This is the first LS swap that we've done where we're keeping the truck manifold.
Yep. For that torque gain, almost dropped it. And gas just came out. That camera battery's lasting way longer than mine too. I haven't charged it at all. Well, I charged it when I first got it, but it's been 2 days now. We're gonna show you guys how to take your truck motor to a race car real quick. You know what's funny? I think that side hit and this side didn't, but we'll still cut it off. On a scale of 1 to 10, how loud is it gonna be?
This thing's gonna be like an 8 or a 9.
All right, so to get the header to fit, we had to grind this down a little bit along with the bolt right there. Seems like that'll probably fit. And then Tyler just finished up tightening up the bolts on this side. Got all those on, the intakes on. His ECU's plugged in, finish this up. It's gonna be time to try to start this thing. We're wiring up the fuel pump relay. We're gonna go get gas and another spark plug because I broke mine. And then we're gonna start it on real gas and a real return line and a real high pressure fuel line.
Dude, my pressure.
My pressure's so high.
My pressure, so baby.
Dick. We're gonna see if our fuel pump turns on and it cranks over. All right, you ready?
Go ahead. Well, yeah, it cranks. It's just your battery's dead. There we go. Cool. Well, that's the easy part. That's 2 wires.
Yeah, we already have a fucking V8, dude. Good old Ford.
All right, let's get some fuel.
I'm ready to stomp this bad boy to the floor.
Let's get some fuel so I can eat some pasta. All right, we are live.
I'll be live with fuel.
Yeah, it's about to spray me in the fucking face. Oh, it's trying.
All right, dudes, what is going on? I thought we were gonna have to continue this video into the next day to get this thing running, but I came out here early this morning. As you can tell, there's fog everywhere, and I got it running. I think the real problem was there was just hella dirt and acorns and like all kinds of shit in this engine, because when I took the intake off, it all fell out. Like, dude, I'm telling you, there was, if you filled up like a Chick-fil-A cup full of dirt and like tree acorns and nuts, that's how much was in here. At least 1 cup, maybe 2. So it finally fired and it ran, and then I put it on fuel instead of starter fluid because the starter fluid almost fucking killed me. I know you're not supposed to use starter fluid, but I just had to do it to get it to fire, and then I put it on fuel and it actually ran. So let's see if we can get it started again. It sounds like a fucking tractor. Uh-oh, there he goes. Sounds like a success for me. Yo dudes, I figured out exactly why it's running like a fucking tractor. This huge vacuum leak right here, I don't know where the sensor went. Check this out, I'm gonna start it and put my finger in here. It runs so good. Praise hell, praise hell! It's running so good, and then ready, it'll probably turn off. Yep. Fuck yes, dude. I'm so stoked, guys. Like, this is awesome. We finally got the truck running. I can't wait to go over the budget with you and see if we did it really cheap like we were planning. I know it was cheap, I just haven't added everything up yet. If you guys want like a detailed review on the prices and everything, just let me know in the comments so you can do this yourself. But really, it's been like, I think it's been less than 2 weeks and we have an LS running truck. And the trans is really easy. I just gotta plug it in and make sure it all reads through the ECU and then make the drive shaft. We should be able to drive it. All right, dudes, so hope you enjoyed this video. It does run, it runs really good. It idles perfect, got everything hooked up, all the sensors. We need to button up the exhaust, we need to make a drive shaft, we need to get the front end back together, we need to do the radiator, and this thing should drive down the road healthy and absolutely rip. Doing an LS swap in like older trucks and stuff, and when I was looking into it, not a lot of people recorded it on YouTube, like a full build, so there you guys go, 2-week build.
You made it this far in the video. Comment.
Yeah, hashtag gay comments are the best comments. Say something really offensive about LS's. Actually, I should say something really offensive about truck motors.